연결
especially since it's now the holiday season, but we thank you for coming out tonight and really hope that you enjoy the evening that we have planned.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yes, I did.
See? I don't think we did.
No.
Oh yeah, boo. So we realize that many of you have attended this Young Professionals Night before, and some of you guys have been attending for the first time. Who's been here before? Okay. Who's been here for the first time? Great. This is a good mix. The purpose of tonight, and if you guys were all invited for a very specific reason. It is to serve as our annual event and to promote the networking of Korean American professionals in Atlanta. It's to help build our sense of community and pride, and it's also going to be very special for us because it's going to start being our KAC's, the Korean American Coalition's annual end of the year celebration as well. The celebration is going to recognize our outstanding members of the Korean American community who have made meaningful impact in the Metro Atlanta area. But we'll talk a little bit more about that later on in the evening.
So in the past, Young Professionals Night has featured distinguished Korean American keynote speakers who have all had very diverse but still exciting backgrounds. This year, we've tried to stray a little bit from the norm of featuring what many of our parents may consider to be the successful careers, doctors, lawyers.
But you're a doctor.
It's different.
Not to say that doctors and lawyers aren't successful.
Exactly.
But there's a lot of this in the room.
Exactly. But we do realize that there are so many successful Korean Americans right here in Atlanta who are not doctors, lawyers,
like me.
Engineers. Exactly. And we believe that they deserve just as much, if not more, credit because they are playing a major part in building our Korean American presence in a wide range of careers.
Such wise words spoken from a doctor. So tonight, we hope that you will get to know many new people, enjoy your dinner, and relax with our special musical guest and listen to our fantastic keynote speaker. So let's get things started with a warm welcome from the Consul General of Korea, who is our main sponsor for tonight's event. Please welcome Consul General of Republic of Korea, Sung-Jin Kim.
안녕하세요. 한국말 다 하시네, 그죠? 제가 맨날 문제가 영어로 반하고 한국말 반하도 하면 제가 하는 말 자꾸 잊어버려요. 그래서 처음에 제가 편한 한국말로 좀 먼저 할게요. 애틀랜타에서 금년이 우리가 5번째입니다. 우리 차세대 행사하는데 작년부터 이제 여기 벅헤드에서 장소를 옮겨서 했는데 오늘 보니까 장소도 좀 넓고 작년보다 금년에는 아마 우리 KAC 멤버들이 100% 전부 초청 장소 예약부터 시작해서 했습니다. 그래서 다만 저희는 펀딩만 했고요. 그리고 오늘 이 자리에 작년에도 후원해 주신 조중식 회장님 나오셨고요. 그리고 애틀랜타 전현직 한인 회장님 2분 나오셨고요. 민주평통 회장님 나오셨고 전 옥타 회장님 오유지 회장님 나오셨고요. 그리고 조지아 식품협회 김백규 회장님 나오셨습니다. 그래서 제가 특별히 앞으로 우리 차세대 많이 지원해 주시는 후원자 되실 분들을 오늘 같이 자리 모셨습니다. 박수 한번 보내드리시죠. 제가 지금 애틀랜타 온 지 2년 조금 넘었습니다. 그동안 이제 애틀랜타에서 차세대 행사 3번, 그리고 플로리다에서 3번, 금년에 처음 노스캐롤라이나에서 1번 했습니다. 근데 참 재미있는 현상이 하나 있어요. 한인 인구가 적은 곳의 차세대들은 한국말을 더 잘한다? 무슨 말인지 이해가 되세요? 노스캐롤라이나 그린스보로라는 곳에 가서 한인 인구가 4,000명이에요. 근데 이 행사를 하는데 전부 한국말로 하기를 원하더라고요. 참 이상해요. 한국말로 어디서 배웠는지. 그 다음에 마이애미에 가면 한 2만 명 정도 되죠. 거기는 half. 뭐 그러니까 서로 편한 말로 하자. 한국말로 해도 다 알아들으시잖아요. 또 영어를 하더라도 우리 어른들 1세들 다 알아들으시거든요. 그러니까 서로 편한 말로 하자. 애틀랜타는 글쎄 작년까지는 제가 영어만 위주로 했거든요. 그래서 금년에 제가 한번 시도하는 게 우리 서로 1세 분들도 오셔서 편하게 같이 행사를 좀 하려면 서로 편한 말을 하는 게 어떨까? 뭐 여러분들 영어 편한 분은 영어를 해주시면 저 다 알아듣거든요. 제가 한국말로 해도 다 알아들으실 것 같은데 혹시 못 알아들으시는 분 계세요? 웃으시는 거 보니까 다 알아들으시네요. 제가 왜 이런 말씀을 드리냐면 우리 미국에 250만 그 다음에 뭐 많게 잡으면 300만 코리안 아메리칸이 살고 있죠. 여기에서 이제 보통 1세, 그 다음에 1.5세, 2세, 또 이제 3세, 4세까지 지금 나오잖아요. 그러면 코리안 아메리칸의 아이덴티티를 제너레이션 투 제너레이션 연결시키려면 필요한 게 뭐라고 생각합니까? 물론 영어로 다 할 수는 있겠죠. 한국어를 좀 더 열심히 우리 젊은 세대들을 배우면 어떨까 하는 생각이 들어요. 그리고 최근에는 이제 우리 동남부 지역에 120개 한글 학교가 있습니다. 거기에 이제 2살부터 열 몇 살까지 학생들이 한국말을 굉장히 열심히 배워요. 이유는 뭐예요? 한국말을 배우면 내가 커서 나한테 더 많은 기회가 올 것 같다는 기대감입니다. 왜? 한국이 옛날에 우리 부모님들이 떠났을 때 한국하고 지금 여러분이 지금 내일이라도 한국에 갔을 때 보는 한국은 전혀 다른 한국이거든요. 예를 들면 작년에 우리나라 경제 규모가 전 세계 수많은 나라 중에 몇 등 했을 것 같아요? 대한민국이 몇 등 했을 것 같아요? 혹시 guess? 1등? Number one is I think China. 우리가 11th. 11th면 10th is Canada. 12th is Russian Federation. 그러니까 한국 한반도 절반 가지고 우리가 11등을 했으면 만약 여러분들이 한 10년, 20년 후에 통일이 된다 그러면 우리나라 경제 사이즈는 much bigger. 뭐 4위? 4위는 좀 많겠죠. 5위, 6위? 여기 계신 분들도 지금부터라도 한국말 배우세요. 그러면 여러분들한테 기회는 더 많아질 겁니다. 그리고 미국 큰 회사, 미국 주류사에 들어가더라도 내가 한국 사람, 코리안 아메리칸이라고 자신을 이제 소개했을 때 분명히 질문 받을 것입니다. Do you speak Korean? 왜 물어볼 것 같아요? Jewish American, Chinese American, Vietnamese American, they speak their mother tongues. 그리고 한국어를 하면 모든 미국 기업이 한국에 비즈니스 인트레스트가 있습니다. 여러분들이 한국어를 하면 여러분 프로모션, more salary, I can guarantee. 자, 그러면 이제 한국말을 잘 못 알아들으신 분이 분명히 있을 것 같아요. Tonight, I hope we can find a common ground and interest by sharing ideas about how to network with one another and what we should do to continue to be a successful ethnic group in the United States. I have a simple message for you tonight. We are the inheritors of 5,000-year-long proud Korean heritage. So please be proud of being a Korean American and be proud of Korea, your motherland. I look forward to seeing this event grow in the years to come, even with even more diverse composition and higher turnout. It's been a little earlier, but I wish you all Merry Christmas. Please enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Consul General. And now we will have a few opening remarks from our very own KC President, Michael Park.
Good evening, everyone. It's my sincere pleasure to welcome you all here tonight to the 5th Annual Korean American Young Professionals Night. For those of you who've actually attended this event before, it's really hard for me to believe that we're already in our 5th year. It seems like just yesterday when we did the first event up in Gwinnett County. First of all, I'd like to extend a special thank you to Ambassador Sungjin Kim, without whom his leadership and guidance and support over the years, this evening would not be possible. I'd also like to say thank you to Deputy Consul Sang-ho Lee, the other consuls in the room tonight, and everyone at the Korean Consulate for all of their dedication and help throughout the years. Another group that I wish to recognize, and Ambassador Kim mentioned them already, is our VIP guests here right in front of me. We have President Jo Jung-sik of Hopewell International, President Jo Sung-hyuk of the National Unification Advisory Council, we have President Oh Young-nok, who is the past president of the Korean American Association of Greater Atlanta, President Baek Hee-sung, who is the current president of the Korean American Association, Greater Atlanta. I believe there's also Mr. Kim Kyu-hee, who is the vice president for Next Generation Affairs at Korean American Association, and Mr. Edward Oh, who was the past president of the Overseas Korean Trade Association. These gentlemen truly represent pillars of the Korean American community. As many of you may know, depending on who you speak to, Atlanta is considered the 3rd or 4th largest Korean American community in the US, and that simply would not be possible without the gentlemen seated here in front of me today. They really have laid the foundation for our community here, and I feel that it's up to us, the next generation, to pick up that mantle and take the Korean American community moving forward. If you all would please join me in welcoming these gentlemen and thanking them for their contributions, I greatly appreciate it. Now, onto the program. I'm very proud to say that in my years of involvement with the Korean American Young Professional Night, I truly believe that tonight's program is the best we've ever had. We have an outstanding keynote speaker, Mr. Min-soo Pak, who's going to be speaking with you shortly. We also have terrific entertainment from our good friends Jae Jin and Andrew Che. And believe me, if you have not heard these two perform, you're in for a real treat tonight. They're simply amazing. Our theme this year is success outside the box, and as our MCs mentioned, what we wanted to do was to redefine the convention definition of success as a Korean American professional. We all think that it's just getting good grades, going to school, and achieving success in our workplaces, but I think that there's more to that, especially as we get into future generations of Korean Americans here in the United States. Okay. It's my sincere hope that, in some small way tonight, that each and every one of you take something away from this evening, whether it's another connection through a network, or whether it's something that you hear from our speakers tonight that adds a little bit along your journey of development as a Korean American, not only in your professional careers, but also just in your personal lives. I know that in my years of service with the Korean American community here in Georgia, I've changed 180 degrees. I started serving at Korean American Association, National Unification Advisory Council about 6-7 years ago, didn't speak Korean very well, and just really had no idea of who I was as a Korean American, and it's really redefined who I am today. Finally, I really like to thank Professor Sang-hyuk Park from Georgia Gwinnett College and all the KSA team for all of their countless hours and hard work in preparing this event this evening. I mean, every detail that you guys see in front of you tonight is a tribute to their hard work and dedication. So with that, we'll start the dinner and festivities for the evening. I hope you all have a great evening of networking and just enjoy yourselves. Have a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael, Ambassador Kang. Thank you.
So now it is my honor to invite our keynote speaker for the event tonight, Mr. Min-Soo Park.
And it's no longer the group of polite, very elegant, wonderful people that kind of beaver away and do their work in back rooms quietly. My life has been certainly the exact opposite of that. My personality is the exact opposite of that. So for what it's worth, maybe some of the things that I've experienced in my life and that work for me, maybe you can take a little of that away. So that's me. I was born in Seoul, but my parents, there's a joke in there. There's no such thing as Korean hippies, but if there were, they were my parents. And I come from a family of physicians, 7 generations of physicians actually. And both my mom and my dad were both physicians. And at the time, they were doing a deal with the Ugandan government, and they needed medical help in Uganda. And so my parents, being adventuresome people with a 9-month-old baby, thought, sure, we'll just go to Uganda. What's the worst thing that could happen? And so in an era of cloth diapers and the largest jet, I think was a 707, they hopped on an airplane and made an unbelievable 20-hour journey to Uganda and to set up practice as doctors. What they found in Uganda, that's also me. I have a fascination with motorcycles and cars. That'll all come out later. But what happened there was the polar opposite of what they thought. So they thought it's going to be kind of a humanitarian thing. They're going to live kind of simply and roughly in the bush. And this is going to be a chance for them to give back, use their medical skill in a place in the world that really, really needed medical help. And in fact, what they ended up was aristocracy, landed aristocracy. Everybody who was a foreigner in Kampala had a humongous house, they had servants, they had a Mercedes to drive, and they had European holidays, so they had 6 to 8 weeks every year that they had off. And so as young physicians, they literally hit the jackpot. And it was amazing, and they thought, how could we be so lucky? This is unbelievable climate. It was 6 months of sunshine and then 4 months of rain, and there was a little transition time. But they fell in love with the area, and I grew up with international friends. I went to international school. So at the age of 5, I was speaking German, English, Swahili, a little bit of Korean, and Dutch. And of course, I've lost all of that, and I can barely speak English now, and I'm relearning Korean through my wife, who came over when she was 15, and so I've gotten to know our culture very much through her. But this is a little bit of the mania. So they love Uganda. It's going great. And then Idi Amin happened. And Idi Amin started killing all the non-Muslim people in Uganda and ejected all foreign nationals out of Uganda in a period of 4 months. And so literally our life was overturned in a couple of weeks. And one day my father was driving home and he drove over a small bridge, and instead of seeing the water, he just started seeing the bodies of executed people. That's good timing. The bodies of executed people, and he knew we gotta get out of here. And one of probably the most amazing thing my dad did, he had very little confidence in the Ugandan economy, so he literally took money, put it in boxes, and shipped it back to Korea. So when they seized all our assets, we didn't actually lose everything like a lot of our friends did. And so in a way that only makes sense to them, we left. We went back to Seoul, and they started a campaign to figure out where they wanted to live next. And in that process, we literally flew around the world, and by this time my brother was born, who's 4 years my junior. So with 2 kids in small airplanes and an era before disposable diapers, they decided, what's better than just taking 2 kids and taking them all over the world and figuring out, let's figure out where we want to live next. And through the process, Thailand, Singapore, Greece, Paris, England, Germany, everywhere, we landed in Long Island, New York.
That's been a pain in the ass. Someone wants to ask a question? Really? Nobody? There you go.
Hi, thank you for your words. It is very inspiring to hear someone who is very successful, but also is outside the norm of what normal Korean culture thinks as successful. Some of the advices that you gave were very good. The one thing that really touched me was be open and be curious. I'm a practicing attorney, and as I go through it every day, sometimes it's hard to be open and be curious and do something outside of my to-do list. So I'm most interested in knowing what do you do, or how do you remain open and curious?
Yeah, again, and I talked about the people who schedule for me. Because otherwise, it would be Lord of the Flies, honestly. It would be terrible. I make a very important point to hold open slots in my calendar for me to do. Well, in the schedule, it actually says nothing. It says the word nothing. Of course, nothing is not what I do, but it is a placeholder for nothing because it is a signal for me to go and learn about something I have nothing in common with or don't even understand. That sounds like a tremendous waste of time. But actually, I can't even tell you how many times that has come into play. If you don't for the longest time, I didn't understand why people who are incredibly passionate about rose gardens, they somehow are like roses. I don't know anything about flowers. I'm allergic to almost everything that flowers and is plant related. So, all of that stuff is tremendous mystery to me. But I just decided, you know what? People who tend rose gardens are very interesting because they're so passionate about rose gardens. They're as passionate about rose gardens as I am about racing in cars, which, other people, like my wife, find extremely tiresome and don't understand the passion behind that either. So it's the recognition of, you know what, I need to figure that out. And I learned all about rose gardens and what goes into that and the variety of roses, all this unnecessary information, and then lo and behold, I ended up getting a contract for an outdoor landscaping provider, seed provider. We did some work with Monsanto, and that knowledge came out, and in a meeting, people were like, whoa, check out the big brain on Brad. Like, how do you know about all of that stuff? And it was literally just because I chased it down. And I think it's really important that kids do this intuitively. They ask why, they don't actually know the answer. And so they're asking all the time. The thing that happens is as adults, even when we don't know the answer, we think we know the answer. And we make it up. And we go, oh, yeah, that's this. And it's not that at all. Like, you have no idea what that really is, but you've made it up in your mind because it's too much of a pain to go and chase that down. And I don't really want to know, and I don't really care about it. So if you find something that you don't know about, don't care about, have no emotional connection to, run to it. Figure it out. And you'll be surprised. Not only will you learn all this stuff, but what your mind does is it gives you a break. And when you go back to the work that you're supposed to be doing, you feel like you just took a big sauna, and you're like you're very refreshed, and you almost always have a completely different perspective on the work that you're supposed to be doing, and sometimes that's invaluable.
I was told that table 6 has a question.
Is that a way to throw somebody out there?
Yes, absolutely. It was table 6 had a question.
No, there's no crazy questions. I love that.
Well, because we have so many attorneys in the room. I know you guys aren't charging by the hour, but I know that like you guys have a question. Like if there's a dying, burning question. Just because I was making fun of you guys a while ago. Come on.
I have a question.
Thank you.
I'm not an attorney, I'm a teacher.
So even better.
Awesome.
What's the one experience in your life that's, it can be good or bad, but that's just taught you the most, that stuck with you the most?
I think the biggest thing professionally that hit me is I worked on a pitch, and this was probably a sense of scale, like what we were willing to do. And at the time I worked for Ogilvy & Mather in New York, and at that time they had their offices were in the middle of Hell's Kitchen. It was called Worldwide Plaza, and it was literally the building of the city block. And the lobby was spectacular. It was marble foyer. It was done in a big half circle. They had televisions embedded in the wall all the way around, white Carrara marble, just stunning. And all the commercials were playing television spots from Ogilvy offices all around the world. And it was ginormous. Like when you walked through the revolving door, it took, 3 minutes to walk across that lobby. And the sense of scale, how tall it was really amazing. And when we pitched and eventually won Jaguar, one of the ideas I had was to actually fill the entire lobby with every significant Jaguar in history. And this was a pain. Like we had to fly a car. There was a D-type Jaguar that was in the Peterson Museum in Los Angeles, and we had to actually air freight it to New York and put it in the lobby. But we had 10 cars that were significant through Jaguar's history. And when the client came for the agency review, they got out of their limousine, they walked through the revolving door, and they saw every piece of historical significant Jaguar history in front of them. Cars that people who work there had never seen before. And from a professional standpoint, it was an example of the sense of scale and what you can do. And literally their jaws dropped, and it was a chance to think about, wow, like we really impacted that. And we eventually won that business because it was a chance to think about how are they going to experience, before we even say anything, before they meet anyone, we want them to feel that we understand them. And that was probably one of the big professional moments. Personally, there's no question, the birth of my kids, that was probably the most significant event for myself, because just the idea that my legacy